What's up, geeks and gamers? It's Odin coming back with another video, and today is another box office breakdown. However, box office breakdown this weekend is going to be solely focused on the movie The Joker, which if you've not seen this movie yet, what are you doing? Get out of your house, go support this film. It's very rare that we get films like this that are so well crafted, so well made, and also happen to be dealing with a comic book character. And I think that we need to support films like this so that way we can get more films like this where it's actual legitimately good film and not just popcorn fluff, which has been pretty much the the main selling point and the main driving point and driving force behind most of the MCU and large big budget films nowadays. But let me just go ahead and show you where this falls in line with all the other films of this weekend. So Joker has now made $93.5 million domestically here in the United States. That is an average of $21,000 per theater. That is freaking amazing. That is really good. Those are really good numbers. It was, it came out in 4,374 theaters. So it's a decent amount of theaters. Having that average per theater is really good. What it means is that people are going to see this film, and not just that, but also that theaters themselves are selling tickets to the movie pretty well. For a 2-hour film, even at a radar film, that is definitely a very impressive number nonetheless. And getting $93.5 million is more than what they had originally projected this film to make. The range of this film was between $80 and $95 million. To get to $93.5 million, getting closer to the upper end of the projections is definitely a good sign. And also, this could be different in the actual number, because remember that this is just an estimate based off of the Friday, Saturday totals and what seems to be going to be the number it comes in on Sunday. So if you right now, we're not planning to see this movie today. If you right now have not seen this movie yet, or if you have seen it and you want to support it, if you want to get this film closer to $100 million, go see it. Go see it. Bring a friend. Bring, bring your family members too. I wouldn't recommend it for smaller kids just because I do think that it is still a rated R film, and I think it might be a little too intense for them. However, I'm not going to say the damn line that the media has been saying about, oh, it's dangerous, and oh my gosh, it's dangerous, and protect the children. They need to be protected from this movie. Obviously not, because those people are idiots. Those people have no idea what they're talking about, and those people want this film to fail. But guess what? They've already, after one weekend, been proven wrong. They've already, after one weekend, been proven that people don't care about the messaging that they are pushing, that people don't care about the frickin' agenda that they are trying to drive, and that we will go out and support films that look like they are good, that look like they have something to them, and we will make up our minds for ourselves. We do not need the media to say, oh, we're going to make up our minds or your minds for you. That's what the media has been trying to do. They have been driving this film so hard to the point where they have been begging, and this is the sick truth about today's modern media. They have been driving that something is going to happen, that something bad's going to happen, that someone's going to act out, that this movie is going to inspire someone to act out. And you want to know why? Let's be honest for a second. CNN, MSNBC, Fox, all of the mainstream media, you know what? You know why you really are pushing this narrative? Because you want something to happen. And I don't care if anyone thinks that's too harsh. I don't care if anyone thinks that's a little too extreme. No, they want something to happen. Why? Because it means ratings for them. They are pushing this narrative. If anything happens, it's not going to be because they saw the Joker and said, oh my gosh, I must now do something. I must now act out. It's going to be because they saw the media overplaying and overhyping the fact that something might happen. And they're going to say, oh, wow, oh, there's a lot of hype around this film. Oh, if I do something now, I will get so much coverage and my name will be remembered forever, because that is what usually drives these crazy people to do those types of actions. So in all honesty, I think that the media deserves to be sued, not just for libel, not just for, just false claims and false accusations, but also for really laying the groundwork for something to happen, because they have been pushing so hard. What has been the number one media headline that you have seen around the Joker? It's dangerous. Is it dangerous? Danger, 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 danger. They are the ones that are laying the groundwork. They are the ones that are pushing people to do things. They're the ones that are pushing mentally ill people to try and act out. Not the freaking movie, not video games, not violence in video games, not violence in movies, not violence in television. All of those things have nothing to do with someone individually choosing to do anything. Why can't we just go to the fact that the person who's doing something is the one that's responsible, right? And if we're going to point the finger at anyone, I would rather point the finger at someone that is essentially pushing people to do something because they want to cover it so they can get their damn ratings and they get money from it. How about that? A little truth for you. I feel like we don't get enough of it these days. But getting back to the box office, again, I know I can get on my soapbox on that point alone for a long time, but 93.5 million, that is a giant smack in the face to all the mainstream media, all of the damn critics that try to drive the score for this film down, try to drive people away from watching this film. You know what the people are saying? Screw you. We're going to make up our own minds. 93.5 million. That's an incredibly strong number. I believe it is the highest grossing, at least for opening weekend, right? So for opening weekend, for opening day. I know that Joker had the highest grossing opening day in October. So that's very, very impressive. This is not the highest grossing rated R film at this point in time. It is definitely up there, I believe, in the top 4 because films like It Chapter 2 got closer to 115, 120 million, which is what I was kind of hoping this film would do. But when you do have some theaters shutting down and some theaters not showing the film and a lot of the fear-mongering going out there, I'm still very happy and impressed that it even made close to $100 million. And as I said before, this is an estimate, meaning if you are on the fence on this movie, go see it, go support it. Again, by your own choice, of course, but I highly recommend it. If you really want to say, if you really hate the mainstream media, if you really think the mainstream media has become so freaking corrupt over all these things, hey, go say, hey, media, screw you. I'm going to go support it however the hell I want to support it, because that is what it all comes down to in the end. But let's actually break down the other numbers too. So 93.5 million here domestically, 140.5 million in the foreign market, meaning the film has thus far made $234 million. This film is on pace to, at the very least, get to that $500 million mark. It could even make more than that. Some people might ask, why isn't it possible to get $1 billion at this point? Well, the biggest reason why Joker likely will not reach the $1 billion mark is because of China. It does not have a China release, and as many of you know, especially you've been following these videos on Geeks and Gamers, you know that the China market is extremely important, that the China market makes up a large portion of that foreign market total, and that's a good $200 million or so that won't be made by this film in the foreign market. And so that's why this film most likely will cap somewhere between 500 and 700 million. Where do I get the $700 million number? I get that from It. So It, as a rated R film, was able to make $700 million, also not getting a China release. This is going to be similar to that because it's also a rated R film. It's also coming out in October. And even though it's not the same as far as it being a horror film, it is definitely that psychological drama, right? There's definitely an element to it. There's a Halloween-esque element to this story that I think might drive some people, especially adults, to be able to want to go see this film in October. And I think that it might have enough legs to be able to last even all the way till the end of the month. I think that this would be a great film to see, not just on October, but also even on Halloween and any day of the month for that matter. This has now become my favorite film of 2019. This has now taken that #1 spot of my favorite films, and the reason why is because it is a great character study. It has great acting, great cinematography, great score. Everything about the film is top-notch, and not to mention, it is so freaking powerful in its messaging, not because it's a political message, which is why, let's be honest, the reason why the media hate this film is because it doesn't have their political message. It's not pushing their crazed messaging. Instead, it's just simply a movie. It just simply exists. But there is messaging in there, right? Which is that we live in a world now where people with mental illness are oftentimes ostracized. When people with mental illness are oftentimes on the periphery, are ignored, are not given treatment that they might need, are basically, funding gets cut, all these other things happen, right? And we sit back and just allow it to. We don't actually act and try and realize that there are people out there that do need help. There are people out there that do need a helping hand, a guiding hand. And that we as a people, we as human beings should, at the very least, be cognizant of that reality. And if we possibly can, maybe ourselves offer out a helping hand to help those people that are in need. I think that's a universal message. That is not left or right. That is a universal message, universal appeal, and not just that, because obviously that's me as a religion teacher looking into it and obviously finding a lot of really great messaging in it. But at the same time, too, this is an important film because it shows Hollywood and it shows audiences you can have a good movie that is also a comic book story. You can have a comic character in a spot-on, wonderful film. And that's basically echoing the words of Martin Scorsese, because I think Martin Scorsese is totally right when he's talking about Marvel film, that it's more like a theme park. There really isn't a whole lot of substance to most of the films. It is the cookie cutter, the same old thing over and over again. This is something different. This is something unique. This is something that should be seen on the big screen. This is something that should be seen, period. If not for anything else, then Joaquin Phoenix, tremendous role and tremendous performance in this role. But anyway, $234 million. That's a tremendous start for a rated R film that has been ostracized and attacked for political reasons, and that a media has tried to essentially create a chaos and create a controversy over when there really was none in the first place. I think that this movie also, in a lot of ways, calls out the media too, in the way that certain things are portrayed as well. And I don't want to go into spoilers here, which is why I'm trying to hold back as much as I possibly can. But man, oh man, this film, and everyone surrounding it, everyone within it deserves recognition, deserves praise. And this is, in all honesty, I think one of the greatest DC movies that has been made thus far. I would put this up there with the Nolan films. I never thought another film would ever be able to get even close to a movie like Batman Begins or The Dark Knight. But Joker is up there. Joker is that damn good. You may not like it. If you just like the popcorn flicks with just the giant action sequences and the crazy CGI fest, if that's your cup of tea and you don't like slow dramas, hey, you may not like this film. But if you want a great character study of diving into the mindset of a criminal, and not just a criminal, but an insane villain, this is a movie for you. It does a great job of doing it. This works within the context of the Joker's character. This is consistent with the Joker's character, and in all honesty, this is a film that's worthy of seeing. $234 million worldwide, opening weekend. That is a damn good number for a rated R film. Not just a rated R film, but a film that's been lambasted and destroyed by the media. Go see this damn movie. Seriously. It's that good, but also, even if you have no interest in seeing it, if you want to send a giant message and a giant middle finger to the media that have been pushing for something to happen, that have been wanting and begging for something to happen so they could cover it to get their damn ratings, go see this movie. Anyway, let me know your thoughts about this and all the things we talked about in the comment section below. If you like this video, smash the like button, give us a subscribe, it helps us a lot. You're all amazing and beautiful people. Go check me out on the Odin's Movie Vlog channel. And again, you're freaking awesome. Have a wonderful day. And as always, God bless.